Sam Coffey. Sam, what's up?
Thank you guys for having me. I wish I had access to a machine like that. I could have a button of my own to press, but
We got it, bro. We got it for you.
You know what? We're sending you the board.
You know what? It's yours. You're gonna have it.
You know, that's how tough you are on the pitch. We're like, we got to send her all the equipment.
Does it make you feel more at home when you hear us pronounce it coffee?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, for a second, I'm like, is this Portland or is this Westchester County? You know, it does. It's like a certain bit of home when you say it like that. I love it.
Perfect. We'll start there. Our studio. Oh, I just
There we go.
pen.
Who needs pens?
Our studio is in right near Times Square in New York. I'm originally from Brooklyn. Alexis is originally from Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
But currently lives in Brooklyn. And you are a New Yorker.
I am.
And this is kind of where I want to start because when it comes to New York, people don't necessarily think soccer. They don't. The New Jersey has all the footballers that come out of there. They have all this. The
Tyler
academies.
Adams is repping Wappingers Falls. I think that's how people found out
Yeah.
Wappingers Falls exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we looked you
100%.
up. Dobbs Ferry, Sleepy Hollow area?
Sleepy Hollow is my hometown, born and raised. Very proud to be from Sleepy.
I live right over in Rockland County, over the Tappan Zee.
Okay, yep, okay. Well, formerly the Tappan Zee,
Rob,
presently the
It's
no,
still the-
it's always the Tappan Zee.
Tappan Zee forever.
This is
It's always the Tappan Zee. They tried changing it, and I think my parents might be a part of like the committee that's like Tappan Zee Forever T-shirts,
Let's
and
go.
you know.
remember when they fixed it and they got rid of those weird wind things they had on the side? I'm like, it doesn't look like a spaceship anymore.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
know. I
live in
go
this
over
world.
it still, and I'm like, what is this?
So
Like,
can you talk a little bit about growing up in and playing soccer in New York? Or were there certain schools that you played? What was the journey like?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Not a lot of, I would say, big time soccer players are coming out of New York, and hopefully that narrative is starting to change. But I did have to travel to New Jersey for most of my club soccer career as a young player. So I spent a lot of time in Bergen County and Morristown, New Jersey, if
Yeah,
I'm remembering
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Never as far as Newark, thankfully.
All
But,
right.
you know,
No, wild disrespectful. I'm gonna call my cousin to go steal a car in Sleepy Hollow now. Just to
hey, you know, we frequent often. We frequent Newark often, but you know, I've seen all
Yeah.
there is to see, I think. But yeah, I mean, I love Sleepy with all my heart. I visit as much as I can. I'm super proud to be a part of that community. But yeah, growing up playing was a bit of a challenge. I think there wasn't a ton of high level teams in the area. So I had to kind of get creative and maybe travel a little bit further. But it does really seem like that landscape is changing, which is really exciting. But I have a lot of pride for where I'm from and love giving back in any way I can and visiting as much as I can as well. So yeah.
I think you're a really good example of some of the things that we talk about. It feels like because it's a big country and there's so many scouts now and there's so many eyes, especially in the women's game in the US, it feels like we know all the best talent. But you kind of did a more creative route to get sort of eyes seen on you, not just traveling far, not as far as Newark, but traveling far to get seen. But also you went to BC first, right? You went to Boston College before you ended up going to Penn State, and you had
Yeah.
to sort of prove your worth every step of the way. Are you looking at your career as saying like, good, maybe I could be an example that maybe we should be looking a little bit deeper in some of these, areas that we don't always search for talent?
100%. I think I'm really proud in the way that I've kind of taken like this path less traveled, if you will. Like, I think there's route one to success or to the top, and some girls take that. I've definitely been this kind of winding path, and even transferring is a huge part of that. But even when I visited Sleepy after we won gold in 2024, I went and we did like a little celebration there, which was really sweet and embarrassing in a lot of ways. Um, but I shared with, some of the little kids that had come out in their little jerseys and things like that, that there's like no one way to get to where you want to go, whatever that might be. Like could have been so many moments in my own career where could have thought like, it's just not going to happen for me, or this isn't making sense, or this isn't how this person did it. And to let that discourage me. But I think instead that's become a strength in a lot of ways and something that I'm really, really proud of. And I believe every step of my journey has been exactly as it's supposed to be and has led me to where I am now.
Amazing. And I think I had seen I don't know if it was in your like Wikipedia or something, but you were the like MVP all 4 years in your high school, or like best player or something along those lines? Is that accurate?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's
Yo,
true.
she knows.
No,
Got
I
it.
swear. Well, you think I'm like frequenting my Wikipedia page, and I'm like, yeah, like, that's really good.
Just making
No,
sure it's
I-
all right.
So, but
Yeah.
but I wonder if there's moments, if like when I hear like, you know, the best player all 4 years, I'm like, all right, were you too big of a fish in this small pond? Did you even feel like, oh man, I'm not getting good enough as quickly as I want to be because I'm kind of like dominating?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did feel like a small pond at times, but kind of like I just talked about, I think a lot of those things quickly became like a strength for me because it meant I had to put even more time in on my own, or maybe go try to train with some boys teams in the area. Kind of get creative with what my own development looked like, traveling far, not as far as Newark, but far.
We got
And
say it every time.
Yeah, like whatever it took to get me to that next level, I was gonna do. And I wasn't gonna let my zip code or whatever it might be get in the way of like what I knew I wanted to do and what my dreams were.
But you never told your parents like, can we move to New Jersey? Can we go
Yeah.
to Southern California?
How about Wakey Hollow? Have we thought about
I've never heard that one. That's good. No, never can we move, especially not to New Jersey. I mean, as a native New Yorker, there's a deep loathing,
I love it.
a loathing of New Jersey that will always remain. But no, I mean, I wouldn't trade my upbringing in Sleepy for the world. Obviously, maybe there are some hoops and ladders to jump through with soccer and development and training like that. But I think this next generation, that's totally shifted, and the girls have so much more opportunities than I think I even had at that age. So that's so exciting to see. But no, I have so much pride for where I'm from, and love, again, being able to like give back to them and the community that raised me in any small way. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
It's really good. I try to think about sometimes like the athlete mentality, and we talk about so many athletes. It feels like, and maybe this is where, you sort of get a little bit of a leg up. You have to have people around you that are willing to say you're not playing your hardest or you didn't give it your all in those moments. You come from a very sort of different background than I think most of us, in that your father and now your sister, very accomplished sports writers. So
Yeah.
when your dad in the car driving home from the game told you that you didn't play well or you could have done a little better, did he do it in like 2,000 words with a full title?
Read out the stat sheet, the highlights.
Yeah. No run-on sentences, perfect grammar.
Third person.
No, for me, the criticism didn't come in post-game. I have the best parents, like just the best parents. I could spend this whole podcast talking about how, just the way I was raised and the love in our household. And they were not the type to get into me after a game. They were just always supportive. I think they saw some of the, I'm sure you guys know, growing up in, New York, New Jersey area, just like the crazy soccer parents on the sideline
Oh,
screaming
yeah.
at the ref, or, at their own kid or at someone else's kid. And I think they saw that and they were like, oh, like, no.
Yeah.
And they did things very differently, which I think only nourished my own love for the game and really allowed me to just like focus on. One, they knew I was hardest on myself as it was, and like they didn't need to say anything to add to that. But only, of course, pushing me to be my best in the way parents do and not coddling me in any way. But, I grew up with so much love and support and encouragement. I would say if there was criticism that came out, it was after I wrote a paper, or if I,
Right.
had like an English project or an essay, and my dad's like, why would you use that word here? Or
Yeah.
I'd send it to him in college and ask him to like send it back with some edits, and the whole paper is like red and things crossed
Just
out and
lines
It's so
everywhere.
funny. He's
Yeah.
he's like gentle parenting with everything, and then he's throwing your homework in the
Yeah.
fireplace.
Yeah. He sends you a
Genuinely.
video of it going in a shredder, and he's like, try
Genuinely.
again.
It's like, okay, I made a couple edits. The thing's rewritten. I'm like, oh man, all right. I guess
Well, that's
this
great.
just
I mean, it's
wasn't good.
kind of wild because like Sam Coffey was essentially gentle parented and is like a dog on the pitch.
Yeah,
know?
where'd you
Like-
get this energy and attitude from?
I mean, like, look, gentle parenting, like, I don't want to put it as gentle, but like, I wasn't, my parents weren't telling me what a piece of crap I was after
Sure,
games
sure.
and things like that. I mean,
Must be nice.
I'd love for you to meet
Yeah.
my mom. I really would love for you to meet my mom for 5
I
minutes.
mean, look, you guys, I would love to. I mean, I don't know. I do think like where I'm from does add an element of that. Not that,
Sure.
Sleepy Hollow is Manhattan by any means,
Yeah.
but But I definitely do think that adds, a kind of, uh, yeah, just like a certain bite and attitude to, I
Well,
think, my
you.
game.
I
But
mean, you can talk about this, and I'm sure this will kind of organically go there. But you obviously captain of the Portland Thorns, and you also captain in your younger teams as well. I mean, this is another thing where leadership seems to come very naturally for you. So as especially younger players don't tend to get this kind of these are not necessarily put in these positions. Coaches don't really give that responsibility to younger players, but you clearly proved yourself very quickly, and it's obviously, even for us watching you and just talking to you, I'm like, it's like a natural maybe on the national team as well,
100%.
of getting the armband too. So where did some of that come from? Because it seems, pretty natural for you.
yeah, I think I've always just like loved the opportunity in leadership. And I think the moments in my career I've like leaned most into that is, and especially now, I think it feels like I'm coming into myself most as like both a player and a person. I think even when I got to the Thorns as a rookie and you're like looking around and it's just like Becky Sauerbrunn and Christine Sinclair and Megan Klingenberg and like Crystal Dunn, you're just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like how is this my life now? And I feel like you're faced with a choice, especially as a young player, of like, am I just gonna follow, which is so important, but also like, what do I have to bring? And like, what do I have to offer here? And if I don't offer what I think my strengths are, then I'm kind of doing not only the team a disservice, but also myself and, the people that raised me and poured into me and supported me to get here. And so I think from the second I became a pro, that really was my mindset. Like, I
Mm.
always want to influence in whatever way that looks. If that's like the other rookies in my class or any teammate or maybe someone not seeing a lot of game time. Like, I think we all are in positions of influence if we see it that way. And we often don't, but like I always want to use that as something that is positive and can have a good impact on others in the team. And so I've really just done my best to lean into that.
What made you become a defensive midfielder? Because that seems like a position that a coach asks you to play once and then you shine and now you're stuck there. That doesn't seem like you didn't grow up with defensive midfielder posters on your wall.
No, well, I mean, look, I mean, like Busquets and even Pirlo, like there are some that I'm like, oh my god.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you see yourself as more a regista than a defensive midfielder?
No,
Okay. I was gonna say that.
no, 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 God, no. I mean, come on. No, I mean, I was like a 8'10" all growing up, especially in college. Like I was a pretty traditional 10. I always say I didn't really start defending till I went to Penn State. I like didn't. I had no interest. I like wasn't about it. I just thought that was someone
I've never
else's
even
job.
seen that side of the
I
field.
don't know what happens back there.
What is a 1v1 on the defensive side of things? Like I'm good. But then I went to Penn State and I say this all the time, but like that decision I think is one of the, if not the biggest reason like I am where I am today and totally reshaped my life and my development. And again, learned how to defend. And I'm still learning, of course, always. But it wasn't until I got to the Thorns as a rookie where our coach at the time, Rian Wilkinson, told me that she saw me as a six and she wants to try me out here. And she thought that a lot of my skill sets maybe fit the profile of like what she's looking for in a six. And I'm like, girl, you could play me in goal. I'll be the ref. Like it means I'm getting
You're
on
like,
the
I'll be
field.
the 13. I don't
Yeah,
the 12.
and of course in the moment I'm like, me? Like a six? Really? Because I had played it a little bit in college because I was forced to due to injury and things like that. And I was not expecting to fall in love with it the way that I did. And similar to leadership, I think the more that I grow as a six, the more I feel like I come to myself fully as a player. And yeah, maybe I'm not the flashy Busquets, like incredible on the ball and all these things, but I do find so much pride in being both like so front-footed and aggressive defensively, kind of that dog, and then also like how can I be this liaison that connects our team and like help set the tempo and be a six that distributes and has, really good passing ability. And those are always goals and things I'm trying to improve. I'll really pride myself on.
So
Let me ask you a quick follow up? I watched a YouTube sort of tactical video randomly got recommended to me, and it was about defensive midfielders. And it started with saying being a central defensive midfielder is the easiest job on the pitch. It said, all you have to do is follow the press and turn and pass. Now, I just want to hear, what's your reaction to that? Because that seems insane to me.
No, I mean, look, there's so many hard positions on the field that I have so much respect for. I do feel like being a six is one of the most difficult and also the most overlooked, which is one of the reasons I love it. Like, I think there's such a beauty in, like, it is such a nuanced position and the details matter so much. But like, if you're a normal spectator, you're not watching them and you're not like, oh my gosh, like what a one touch pass into space or like
Right, right.
what a last ditch tackle like that led to the counterattack. But like those are like my bread and butter that I've grown to just love so much and like that get me so fired up. Um and I love that element of the position that like I'm doing my job if like you don't really notice me. If I'm setting my teammates up to be the best that they can be and set them up for success in their next action. But I would totally disagree with that
There we
narrative
go.
that it's the easiest. I mean, generally it's the most crowded part of the field. You're having to break that first line of pressure. Um, you're having to protect your back line. Like
I,
it's not easy. If
and
they're
I,
finding it easy, they're
yeah,
doing a better job than me.
I love just the joy that you are speaking about it because I had saw a video recently from we have a friend expected own goals. There was a video that they showed you a goal that happened and you
Mhm,
were kind of analyzing it.
mhm.
Just this must have been 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Okay.
And the giddiness and joy that
Mhm.
you're happy somebody asked you about it and this is the thing with defensive midfield being overlooked. And this is your opportunity to be like, you see what I did?
Right?
This goal wouldn't happen.
They'd be nothing without me.
if it
No,
wasn't
no, no,
for
no,
me.
no. That's not me. That's not me. But I love that it is like this kind of unspoken position. Like again, it's just I feel like I tend to rate myself um game to game based off like how the people around me play and how I'm best setting them up for success because I think that is so much like the importance and job of a six is this link. Like you're really in the center of everything and you have this opportunity to play the front foot to your outside back or play your 10 in the pocket so they can turn and they can drive
Sure.
or find longer balls or whatever. Protect your back line so that they're not isolated in 1v1 situations. Like if I'm doing that for my teammates and they're able to thrive, then I've done my job and
I
I don't
love
need anybody to know
I
that.
love that because in the video you had said it wasn't a thing I necessarily noticed, but you said that the player, so the other team had the ball, so you said the player had their back to you, so you knew to press in that moment because she didn't know that
You were there.
You were there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's essentially what led to the goal, and I'm
Mhm.
just like, all right. I mean, I'm watching the game, but Coffee, she is experiencing the game.
There's something else happening. Yeah, you're watching it differently than we do for sure.
So,
And that's okay. I mean, that's the beauty of it, you
I
know?
love
And
it.
like, I mean, that Sofen took someone 1v1 and did her thing that she does so brilliantly. And like, that is the highlight of the clip. But for me, like, that is those bread and butter moments where I'm like, yeah, like I can get after someone here. I can make a big tackle here. I can help connect the lines or transition the team. Like, those are the parts of being a six. And
all
I
right,
mean,
look,
all the parts I just
Sam,
love getting to do.
this is why you're gonna win us a World Cup again.
Yeah.
All right,
That's the plan. That's the
Right?
plan.
I might start tucking in my shirt.
And that's what I wanted to ask about. We had a question from one of our fans, our Patreon, our supporters group. You guys have the Riveters and stuff like that, but we have Gully Squad.
I love that.
The Lura McCoy, she asked the question, what inspired the tuck shirt? Look, I'm sure you get this question a lot, but I don't.
I do,
would love to
yeah,
know.
and I do like answering this question because it's not something I always did, which might seem surprising. And now looking back, I'm like, I should have always done this. This like fits me so well. But I got called up to my first camp as a rookie in like May, and I was with the team as a training player before they went to World Cup qualifying in Mexico, and then they were going to go to Mexico, and I was going to go back with the Thorns. So it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I was with my first experience with the national team, so it's just like dream come true. It was an incredible moment. And yeah, camp was great. It was just like an amazing first experience. The team goes off to Mexico. I go back. I actually meet the Thorns in LA for a game. And it was kind of before that game. I remember we were in our white kits on the road and I think, like, genuinely, like, I come out of the bathroom and, like, my shirt was accidentally tucked, like, into my shorts, and I was like, "Oops," like, I look silly. But then I, like, looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, "This is kind of this kinda works for you. Like, this is
Okay.
kinda
Yeah.
fitting." Like,
This
you
is
know,
who
like,
you are, Sam.
this
As you talk to yourself in the
this is
mirror.
who you've always been. Why are you hiding? Like, and, I mentioned I went to Kent State and, we have 3 pillars of our program, and one of them is blue collar, and it's one that I've always just loved. Like, get dirty, you don't gotta be flashy, you don't have to, kind of I don't know, like, we're gonna get in, or we're gonna get
Sure,
the work
sure.
done, we're gonna get the job done, like, no matter what, whatever it takes. And for me, like, even doing that felt very kind of blue collar, old school, traditional. I love kind of connecting with those aspects of the game, and so I tried it, I was like, "Why not? Let's see." And it just stuck. I don't know, like, it just stuck. People started noticing it. I'm like, "This feels strange," and it's apparently a kind of a controversial subject, but I if people think it looks good or not, I'm like, I don't really care. My shirt's not in my way. So, and it's not going to get in the way of the job that I know I need to do. So,
I want to ask because I also we've seen you recently at the Emmys. Couldn't tuck in that. That was a beautiful dress, right? No shirt tucked in there.
no
But
shirt tuck in there. No.
no, some players don't like that. Some players are like, I'd just rather play. I'd rather go home in sweats or whatever. Are you a fan of the glam up moments? It's sort of it's a nice part of being an athlete to
Yeah.
get to go to these big events.
Yeah, it is. I'm always down for a moment where we can like switch it up. Again, I would say 95% of my life is lived in sweatpants. And like, it's nice to just like be a girl for once and like get dressed up. We have these makeup artists and these incredible events we get to go to. So I love getting able to go. I would not say I'm like the traditional glitz and glam that maybe some of my teammates are. I definitely need help in some of these ways. I'm not like a big designer girl and more of like a canvas tote or
Yeah,
my New Yorker tote, that's my go-to.
there you go.
She's
The
wearing a
free one
dress
you
with
get.
Timberlands.
Yeah.
Like Sam.
A Yankee cap. She's like, "What's good? Where's
Yeah,
the
literally.
where's the food?"
You call this pizza? But yeah. So no, but it's always fun to kind of switch it up a little bit.
Does when tucking the shirt, how often does it get untucked during a game?
Honestly, not often. I got it pretty snugged in there. Like I
All
got my
right,
shorts tied and like
because you know how they say certain like center backs like Virgil van Dijk, they'll be like, oh,
uh
like he looks like he's not really doing anything because he's always in the right position. I would
mhm.
imagine the barometer of how good of a game you had, it's like if the tuck didn't move at all, you're
Yeah.
like, I didn't even have to.
The
I had no
tuck
diving
stayed.
tackles. I was in the
Your
right.
expected tux is 0.0. You had a great game. Sam Coffey is crushing it out
XT.
there.
I love that.
The
I love
XT
that.
is
I mean,
low.
look, like I'm not known for my speed. And so like I would say no one's also in a position where they absolutely like need to pull my shirt out of the tuck to catch
Gotcha.
me on a quick counter. Like I like to believe I have other strengths, but I would not say that my speed is one of them. So I don't think there's many opportunities where I'm worried too much about the tuck getting undone. And if it does, I just go back real quick because it's gotta be in order.
I wanna ask because obviously you guys are about to play 2 big games against Portugal, and you
Mhm.
scored, I believe it was Ireland, China, and one other game that you've scored. But when it was the matches against Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, those were 2 in a row. Sometimes the women's national team will play 2 matches back to back against the same nation.
Yeah.
You like that? You hate that? Is it fun?
Um, I I don't know if I like or dislike. It's always hard. It's always hard. And I will say I think what I do like about it is that it does prepare us for major tournaments where a lot of the time that does happen. Like we in 2024 played Germany in the group stage and then had to play them again in the
Yeah.
semifinal. Like probably a week later because those games were like boom boom boom. Um so yeah, it's always hard because teams are always going to come out differently. Usually there's personnel change, different formation, whatever it might be. And so it's like such a test to be able to, okay, we beat you well this first time, but like the second game is going to pose a totally different challenge. And it's a different city, different climate, different fields. Again, usually they switch up some stuff. We try to switch up some stuff. So um it's always challenging. It's always a good time, especially when it's, top opponents that we get to play and it's great prep for major tournaments.
I would imagine like the only negative is bad blood spilling over to
They
the other game.
remember.
They're like, oh,
Yeah.
we just played you. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We remember you.
You're whispering in someone's ear, I remember you. You untucked my shirt.
I want to ask just a couple more questions before we let you go. The winning the Olympic gold. I mean, obviously you were talking about the homecoming at Sleepy Hollow, but just such a good moment, I think, for the U.S. Women's national team and fans of the national team, especially of how difficult that 2023 World Cup was, because I mean, we bumped into Alyssa Nair at a party a while ago, and I was like, the ball didn't cross the line. You know, she was just like, it didn't, right? And so we still haven't sort of let go of that. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a great moment, just seeing the joy on all the players' faces. Obviously, Trinity Rodman was who was already a star, but really got a lot more attention after that Olympic win. But what is your favorite memory from winning the Olympics?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like the easy answer is gold. So I feel like I got to give you something else.
No, but I'm sure there was a tackle you put in or something that was.
I mean, look, I got myself into some trouble, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Couple yellows.
Yeah, just a couple. I mean, look, that rule is so stupid. Like, come on. What you get
I
two
completely agree.
yellow
That's
cards.
my soccer hot take. Yellow card accumulation is dumb.
Thank you. Look, it was totally on me. Like, I own it. But I mean, yeah, easy answer goals. Like, just the quintessential euphoric moment you dream of as a kid. Like, your life flashes before your eyes of all the times you're out on the field alone and the extra sessions and the car rides and all of it that leads to just this moment of pure joy where your dreams are coming true and you're just like, oh my gosh, is this real life? So I have just so much gratitude for that experience and for that moment. I mean, I would say best experience. I mean, I personally I think other than the final, of course, I think our win in group stage against Germany, I think it was 3-1, 4-1. I'm
Mhm.
blanking now on the score. It's all a blur. But that was just we were on some different level. I'm not gonna curse, but it was really it was just we were so on it, and our cohesion, our connection, it was so good, and it felt like we were playing FIFA. Like, honestly, I was like,
Sure,
this
sure.
weird. And I remember leaving that game and actually going up to Hyatt, and I'm like, we're doing it. This is happening. He's like, we have some ways to go, and I'm like, you're so right, but we're doing it.
Yeah.
So I would say
but
that.
shut
that
up,
game.
we're winning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, this is
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, and we're just a force to be reckoned with, and I think that momentum totally carried us forward in the rest of the
Love it.
tournament. So it was just an incredible experience, though.
Who's the first person you text a photo of the gold medal to?
I think it was my parents were there. I think it was some friends I've met here in Portland, and I actually was drug tested. So it's this awful selfie. I'm in the I'm about to get drug tested. I think Marta's in there as well. She's obviously emotional, and a couple other Brazilian girls, and we're just in this room, and you go from the podium to then being followed back by one of the
Yeah.
drug testing people who are watching your every move.
Right.
because,
Congratulations. I have to watch you pee now.
literally, and they're and then I'm pretty sure my pee might have been too dilute because I'd been drinking too much water. I don't know, and then I had to do it again. So anyway, my first picture is literally the selfie, and you see the medal, and I'm trying not to be noticeable because there's people everywhere. Again, watching everything. So I'm am I gonna get in trouble for taking a picture? I had gold medal. So I think that was the first picture I'd sent, and I'm like, yep, this is.
That's
It's
hilarious.
not
Yeah.
glamorous. I'm not pounding beers.
We
I'm in fact
actually
peeing
have
in a cup.
a very weird story about players being having to do the drug test after matches. We just got back from Dortmund, and in Dortmund there's a legendary story of there was a Champions League game, I believe against Juve, and they were doing a
This is
drug.
very
They
German.
have a room, so they're giving us a tour, and they show the room. There's that's where they do the drug test, and they bring the players in, and
Because the players have sweat so much, in order to help you, they give you beer.
Oh, that's
So right after the
nice.
match, they'll hand you a beer, and that'll help you
It doesn't
pee.
have to be
Right.
water, right? It doesn't have to be water.
But the one that was interesting, it was a game against Dortmund against, I believe, Juve, and a player from Dortmund, I forgot which one, but the another player was Buffon. Gianluigi Buffon is in there, and he's doing and peeing in the cup and doing the whole thing. For some reason, the Juve team bus forgot he was in there doing that, and they left without him.
Well,
And-
because the other player
Oh.
needed more beer because he couldn't pee. So they wouldn't let either of them out.
Oh my gosh,
And then he ended
no.
up like the team left, like they had a flight, and he had to end up having to fly.
Dortmund got him a private jet.
Dortmund got him a private jet to go.
All right.
And I think
Well,
the
you
other
don't
player
live
was
like that,
Shinji
you know?
Kagawa.
Maybe I forgot who it was.
And he was so drunk
Oh.
because he doesn't like beer. I will ask
Well-
one quick question. You mentioned Marta. Does she remember that you interviewed her when you were like 11 years old?
No, definitely not.
You didn't
Like,
bring it up?
No, I mean,
Not
Martha's
at
got
that
other
time,
things-
right?
No, yeah. I mean, well, no. I mean, well, not, and she's just like she's got other things to think about and worry about. She doesn't have to think about me. I mean, I think about it obviously because I mean, I think everyone in our league just has like nothing but absolute respect and just awe of Marta and just her, not just her longevity, but yeah, just like truly one of the greatest female players to ever touch a ball and has just left the game totally so much better than she found it. And we hope she continues to play, obviously. But yeah, I have vivid memories of that experience. My mom actually speaks Portuguese, so she was like translating for us, and I'm just like standing there, like looking up at Marta, and I'm like looking at my mom, and I'm just like in awe that this is actually happening. And then all of a sudden, you're sharing a field with her, and you're chasing her around trying to win a gold medal, and I'm like, wow, life is pretty crazy.
Life's
And
awesome.
Here we are.
But I mean,
yeah.
marking Marta, even now, it has to be quite frustrating. She's still very good.
I don't even think that like marking is the word I would use. Probably like getting beat by. Yeah. Like,
Watching?
I mean, just watching her go
Viewing?
past you. Like
Yeah.
no, I mean, she is just incredible and so good on the ball, so creative and savvy. And like I'm just a huge fan of her game. And yeah, I don't love playing against her, but I
Of course not.
secretly fangirl like while I'm, still on the field.
Okay. Two quick questions. The last few, definitely last like 2-3 years, TikTok and national team, U.S. women's national team TikTok is. I follow
love it.
everybody.
I love it.
I see Alyssa Thompson, and it was now at Chelsea, but always she has the dances or whatever. I know there's
Yeah.
always a lot of like encouragement, and I don't know if you've been in any. How much of the how much conversation preparation is happening for these TikToks? Because it seems like it become a big part of the culture of the locker room.
A huge part of the culture, like definitely one of our founding pillars as a team and like what really has gotten us through so
Blue
many difficult
collar,
moments.
what was
the Penn State blue collar?
yeah.
Just how Michelle Akers assumed it would have been.
Yeah. They passed down the tradition of TikToks to the next generation. No, I mean, look, I'm definitely not the girl to ask. I'm a little bit, like the tuck. I'm a little bit old school in that way. I don't even have it, so I don't really know what all goes on. I love watching them, and I
Sure.
will be happy to participate if I'm called upon. And I think the ones even like we do on media day and kind of like the voiceover ones are always so funny. But those girls, like, I don't think they're like practicing for days. Like they just rip it out and they get it
Yeah.
flawlessly. And I think it's just something to behold. And look, they are growing the platform. They are attracting different fans. So it's just like, I love it. And
It's
they're
ama-
always so funny when they do it.
Last question for me. This is something I want to start. I haven't done this with other guests that we've had in the past, but I want to start because I saw somebody talk about this. What's the greatest goal you've ever seen live?
Ooh.
And you can take some
Live.
time to think about it or anything. But I'm curious. I want to hear what players, maybe they've been on the pitch, maybe they were watching them, but I'm curious what that vantage point, that point of view from players.
Greatest goals I've ever seen live. And I'm thinking about like when I was a kid. I mean,
I would say when I scored. Different
look,
personalities.
I
there.
mean, yeah. There's not that many of those, honestly. I mean, I will say, watching Trin's goal in the quarterfinal when I was not playing and I was in the stands watching like a I was hostage. Like I couldn't even be with the team. Like I'm up there in jail. Like there's a security guard making sure I don't like go crazy.
Right.
Ridiculous.
But and I'm sitting there just like with my heart in my stomach the 120 minutes. And I mean, never doubted we were gonna win. Like even the whole game, I'm just like, this is going to happen. I know it's gonna happen. And she just cuts her defender and like left-footed curler postage stamp. I think I gotta say that one. And just like the emotional relief too
Of
of like,
course.
oh my God. Like it's I went up to her after and I was like, God bless. God bless you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
giving me one more game to play.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
literally,
I really wanted to
yeah.
get back in there.
Yeah. But just, I mean, and just such an incredible goal. Like incredible.
No,
So
a huge moment. I love it. All
That's
right.
massive. Yeah,
All
that's
right.
really cool.
You got anything else?
No,
Are you
that's
good?
it.
All right.
Sam, thank you so much for taking the time.
Sam Coffey. Everybody, obviously, the matches for the national team are coming up October 23rd and October 26th and October 28th. So 2 against Portugal, 1 against New Zealand. It's going to be obviously very exciting to see you back there and playing. And obviously, NWSL playoffs are obviously coming soon, and we're still all fighting for positions. It's very tight. Outside, for some reason, Kansas City has all the points. I don't know why.
Whatever.
For
now. But anything can happen in the playoffs. So best of luck in the NWSL
you.
playoffs, and best of luck for the rest of the season. Sam Coffey, it's been an absolute honor. You're
Absolute
welcome on
honor.
this show anytime. And
thank you guys.
if you're ever in New York, don't hesitate to stop by.
Oh, I will be. Don't you doubt it. Yeah, thank you
We're
guys
going
so
to
much for
Wakey
having
Hollow,
me.
baby.
The W.
Yeah,
We all know
everybody
it.
knows it. WH.
Thank you so
WH.
much, Sam.
Thank you guys.